Welcome back to the Bloomberg Google Hangout here at the U.S. Africa Business Forum, the Mandarin Hotel in Washington, D.C. We're at the center of the action. We've got CEOs, we've got heads of state, we've got U.S. ambassadors, we've got all kinds of folks here, and we're honored to be joined on set right now by Tony Elumelu, the chairman of Heirs Holdings, invested in all kinds of things across Africa. You are Nigerian, based in Lagos, correct? But invested in power and services and hospitality. I want to ask you about Nigeria in particular, because it's such an interesting country in terms of being one of the most robust economies within Africa. It's certainly growing, I think 6% a year. You see the Nigerian Stock Exchange has been very healthy, I think, over time. And yet at the same time, you see this threat of terrorism. Certainly that grabs international headlines. What do you say to folks in the United States who are thinking about investing in Nigeria, who are thinking about power investments, infrastructure investments, telecommunications, about the threats and the risk of terrorism and other things in terms of investments?
As chairman of Heirs Holdings, we invest in key sectors of the African economy. We invest in financial services, we invest in real estate and hospitality, and we invest in energy, that's power, oil and gas, and fertilizer and coal. I'd like to say that we keep investing in Nigeria. That's one of the investment destinations in our group, for our group. We have investment in 19 African countries, but there's nowhere that we get the kind of returns we have in Nigeria. And yes, you have pockets of security challenges, but there's hardly any robust economy in the world today that doesn't have their own fair share of pockets of security issues. That does not deter us. We keep investing because the opportunities, the investment environment is improving. And if you look at the capital markets, the Nigerian capital markets, it keeps growing. You talk of attacks, but it grows bigger. So I would say for investors who are looking at Nigeria, they should come to invest. They should seek good partners, good credible partners to co-invest with. The Africa entrepreneur of today is different from the African entrepreneur of 10, 20 years ago. You have African entrepreneurs today very exposed, very learned, who have expertise, and who also have resources, capital to co-invest. So as we come to this U.S. Africa Business Forum, we come with confidence and we come with competencies. Competencies and knowledge, confidence born out of our investment track record on the African continent. Take our group, for instance. We have investment in power. When we took over the power plant we acquired from the government during the privatization last year, the output was 150 megawatts November 1 last year. This morning, the output was 453 megawatts of electricity. So this is the kind of confidence we come to the forum with. Confidence of people who have a track record of investing and investing profitably and rightly on the African continent.
So what is attractive about U.S. investment versus Chinese investment in Africa or European investment in Africa? Why, as a business leader in Africa, would you court American companies to come and to partner with?
A couple of points. First is capital investment has no color. So Africa is receptive to investment from China, to investment from Europe, to investment from America, to investment from Asia, and Gulf states. But with America in particular, we have a kind of cultural history and affinity. Almost every young African wants to behave like an American. Almost every young African wants to school in America, where the opportunity exists. Almost every young African wants to go on holiday in America. I don't know about the number of African youngsters or parents who want to go on vacation and they plan or think of anywhere else but America or Europe. So that tells you the kind of chemistry, affinity, history that we all both share. And so if we see others investing more on the continent than the people who are more affiliated historically with, we begin to wonder why. And so that is why when President Obama came to Africa to announce the Power Africa initiative, some of us, my group, the Heirs Holdings group, committed $2.5 billion to the Power Africa initiative. And that is why we acquired the first power plant we have acquired. And that is why we are supporting the initiative. You know, Obama came to Africa, Power Africa, trade, investment, great proposition for defining the relationship between America and Africa. We want to see him push it through. We want to see the U.S. Senate pass the Electrify Africa Act bill so that more resources can be channeled and opened up towards encouraging the electrification or increasing access to electricity in Africa. We have come to America, the political leaders from Africa, the business leaders from Africa, because of this, because we welcome American investment in Africa, because we have a history that we want to continue to drive.
How long do you think realistically it takes for most Africans, for the large majority of Africans, to have reliable power?
It's going to take time. It's going to take a long time because where we are coming from today, there's just under 20% of Africans have access to electricity. And the population is exploding. So it's not like even a static population that you're saying, hold, and let's ramp up the other areas. So it's going to take quite a lot, but the journey of 1 mile starts with one step. So let's commence the journey, let's take the first step, and let's start moving. Where are we at today? There's improvement. If I took over a power plant just November, 150 megawatts, today is 453. By November this year, we intend to ramp up to 700 megawatts. In 3 years' time, we want to do 2,000 megawatts. So if everyone keeps acting in this manner over a period of time, there will be increase. President Obama's Power Africa initiative says to double access to electricity in Africa in 10 years. Let's assume we achieve that or surpass that, and every other economic every other operator in that space also decides to increase more what they generate, then we'll be better for it. But we need our African government also to keep reforming the power sector. We need our regulators in Africa to wear the developmental regulatory mindset, to know that they are not regulators in a mature industry, they are regulators in the startup industry. The mindset must change. We need also our leadership to understand that power investment is a long-term investment, so they need for stability of policies. So I think in 5-10 years' time, it will be a different story.
Tony Elumelu from Heirs Holdings, CEO, Chairman of Heirs Holdings. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks so much, Jonathan. Good to hang out.
We'll be back with the Bloomberg Google Hangout in a few minutes, here from the Mandarin Oriental Hotel and the U.S. Africa Business Forum. See you in a moment.